Welcome to another edition of the More You Know Co. podcast that's all about the people and places of Northern Colorado. Today we're talking to Mike Seaman, CEO and founder of Evolving Vitality, a growing company helping more and more people every day.
Michael Seaman. I own Evolving Vitality. It's a hormone optimization, health and wellness clinic. 80% of women and 40% of men suffer from a hormone imbalance, and they're actually walking around day to day feeling, subpar, not feeling like their optimal selves, and they just don't even realize it. So with today's foods that we eat, seed oils, plastics that we consume, just all this type of stuff just naturally crushes your hormone levels, and over time it just creates a lot of health issues. So I started this company because I was in the military for 12 years and also a law enforcement officer. And between different things we exposed to in the military, chemicals, unfortunately vaccinations, stress, shift work, all that type of stuff, naturally crushes your hormone levels. So I got on it when I was 21. I was feeling really sluggish, really bad, wasn't performing well in the gym, just wasn't feeling myself. And I went and got my testosterone levels checked, and they were 180. And that's very, very low for a male at 21 years old, when I should be sitting between 800 and 1,000 to feel optimal. So I got that fixed. It absolutely changed my life, and that's what guided me to trying to help other veterans, law enforcement family, first responders, and everybody else as well.
And it was kind of interesting. I mean, obviously we follow you on social media too, and some of the stats that you share on there, I mean, it's incredible how many people's numbers are way off.
Yes.
So there's obviously a huge need for the services that you provide and this company here. You had talked about being sluggish, and that was kind of one of the side effects. I mean, how would somebody, if they don't follow you or seeing these statistics and know about this, what are some of the other signs that they may be low in some of their hormones?
Sexual dysfunction, so that's the big common ones. Erectile dysfunction for men, low libido for men and women, just not even having the desire for it. That's a huge one. Mental fog, that's another one that affects a lot of people, where you just feel foggy-headed all day at work, excessively being tired at work, driving home and falling asleep. That's not normal unless you're up for 15 plus hours. Fat retention, that's another thing. You go to the gym, you're eating right, you're thinking everything's checked out, but you're not losing weight. That's a huge indicator of a hormone imbalance. And keeping the imbalance like that can lead to cardiovascular health decline and then a whole range of other issues.
I I'm fat, foggy-headed, and lethargic all the time. I mean, I definitely have some issues going on. I'm taking copious notes already.
So how would somebody get a hold of you to inquire about this more?
So it's pretty simple. You just go to evolvingvitality.net, and on there we have a contact form. You fill out your basic information, and one of the wellness specialists will reach out to you, and we'll connect with you, and we'll discuss, the reasons why you came, how you're feeling, what your goals are. We'll go over all the basic stuff. And then from there, it's very simple. We send you to closest LabCorp or Quest Diagnostics for blood work. We send the acquisition form there, so it's very simple. You just walk in, get your blood work done. Within 2 to 3 days, it comes back to us, and we set you up with a telemedicine visit with our provider.
Basically, you go in, you get your levels tested and so forth, and then you can kind of tailor what needs to be done in order to bring those back into balance.
That's correct. So yes, we do full blood work, so we check everything because we're looking at all aspects of health beyond even hormones. We're going to tell you about vitamin deficiencies. We're going to we even have nutrition counseling, so we could even help you out with diet plans to help bring cholesterol back in or whatever else you might have an issue with. And she will go line by line on the blood work and explain the whys, ask you about your diet currently, and just try to pinpoint the issues that are caused there.
That's awesome. I mean, when I go to the doctor and get blood work, it's this long list of stuff. I don't know what it is. And the doctor's not usually very helpful with it. They'll take a glance at it and be like, yeah, look, normal, yeah, no. Okay, this might be off a little bit, blah, blah, blah. But they really don't, I don't walk out of there more educated on what I feel like any of that blood work meant.
Right, and she will actually break it down in English. So if you have any question on anything along the way, you can just shoot us a message, and we keep everything pertaining to you in that portal.
So they go and do their blood work, and then you guys tailor a unique plan specific to them. Do they have like a time to follow up on, or how does that work?
Yes, so at the end of the provider visit with Dr. Gowden, she will come up with a recommended plan, of the different hormones she recommends, vitamins that she recommends, and then also peptides. And peptides are actually naturally occurring in the body. And like anything else, those decline as well. So she'll come up with a plan that she recommends for you, and then she'll tell you these are the ones you really should be doing, and these are the ones that are optional that will help benefit you for your goals. And time-wise, you can take a couple days, a couple weeks, it doesn't really matter, and just get back to us and tell us, yeah, I want to do the entire plan, or I want to do, the basic ones she recommended, and then touch on the other ones later on.
Right now, who are you seeing the bulk of your customers being?
The bulk is males and females age 30 to 50. That's the biggest range. And as of right now, we're actually seeing a lot more females come in just due to a lot of postpartum females. Post-pregnancy, the weight retention, all sorts of issues that come from, having a baby. It messes up your hormone profile pretty largely. So it's been absolutely changing their lives.
Excellent. So when somebody comes in and they get all this done and so forth, there's got to be some follow-up and so forth to retest levels, to do things along that line to make sure that it's productive and it's doing and accomplishing what they want. What's that whole plan kind of look like?
So once the plan gets put in place, we will do what we call partial panel blood work. And what that's going to do is allow the plan to set in and balance and adjust the hormones where they should be. And then we'll touch on the specific ones that we need to check again and then adjust from there. So I would say most of the time it remains the same because the doctor, she's pretty spot on with the dosages. But once in a while, she'll say, hey, you need a little bit more progesterone for a female, a little more estrogen or testosterone for a male or female, and then she'll adjust accordingly.
Okay, so is this on a monthly plan? Is this something? Tell us a little bit about what the structure looks like as far as the whole business.
We do the initial blood work, and then we put them on. It's usually a 10-week protocol, so it's 10 weeks, and that's based on the prescription amount. So most of the compounding pharmacies give 10 weeks at a time. So we're doing 10-week protocols, and then at the 8-week mark, we will check in and say, hey, your refills are coming up. Are you interested in refilling? And then all along that entire time, we're in contact with them as well to check on how they're feeling, if they have any questions, updates, and everything like that.
So can you kind of walk us through what and maybe this is a hard question, but like the average cost for somebody would be to do this?
So the cost, it kind of gets complicated. So it comes out to be $99 a month for the basic, because it can be individualized. So most people fit under the basic plan, which is $99 a month. And the basic plan is $99 a month, but we do 10-week packages because the prescriptions come in 10 weeks at a time. So that ends up being $248 for a 10-week protocol. And then if there's anything extra that they need beyond that, that's an additional charge. We do offer first responder and veteran 10% off.
So really that's a great price for being able to really dial in some long-term health consequences or benefits. If you find that you're low in whatever area, to be able to fix that or be aware of it and work on that, $99 a month is a lot cheaper than somebody going to get a coffee once a day or even during their work week. So,
and my favorite slogan is health is wealth. So, taking care of your health now at $99 a month is going to save you the headaches of later on down the road when you have all sorts of health issues from letting stuff like this go and create the health issues that eventually come.
Well, and we see that a lot too with people that are getting ready to retire later in life, right? And healthcare is one of the biggest costs that they're having to face. So if you're able to eliminate even half of that cost because of you're being proactive about your health earlier on in life, that could be a huge savings for you and your family down the road.
And sometimes that's not really pushed because, when you're looking at preventative health care, you're not going to get that in big pharmacy and so forth. I mean, they make a lot of money on the older generations and so forth that ignored these health issues for all this time. I don't want to make that political and so forth, but that just education just doesn't come naturally. We don't get bombarded with that kind of stuff like we do, erectile dysfunction pills and so forth. So it's great to see a program out there that really addresses, hey, look, get this under control. And probably everybody I know complains at least about something that you mentioned earlier. They just don't have the energy level. They're retaining fat. There's just something in there that they're just struggling with. And the idea of, for $99 a month, being able to address that is fantastic.
And very few people go to find out what the root cause is of those issues too, right? It's either masked with caffeine or sugar or just more crap that's being counterproductive to what you're trying to fix.
Right, and that's a big thing for us too, is the health and longevity portion of it. Because naturally, and the age can be debated, 30, 35, 40, when people start to decline naturally. But we've been seeing average between 30 and 35 is where males are really starting to get the decline. And they just don't realize it. By the time they're 45, they're just thinking, oh, I'm just getting old. When that's not the cause. And it's actually because their hormones declined and they're starting to feel the sluggishness, mental fog, all those type of issues, the weight gain, and they just, blame it on, well, I'm over 40 now, so it's just going to happen. And that shouldn't be. So our whole goal in this is preventative and then the longevity portion of it. Because when we retire, like you mentioned earlier, we want to live happily and, be able to go enjoy what we worked for all these years. So just keeping up with, as the decline goes, clinics like mine will keep people feeling like they're in their 20s and 30s as they go into their 40s, 50s, and 60s.
So Mike, going back a little bit, when did this business start? I mean, you had kind of told us about your vision and why you wanted to start it, and obviously there's a huge need. When did it start?
So I started getting it together in May. It's a long process as far as getting the licensing and the insurance and just getting everything, all the ducks in a row before it's ready to be operational. So we started it February 1st. But it's been in the process since May of 2022.
A ton of work going into it. Where do you see the business going in the future?
As of right now, we're doing Florida and Colorado, but we are pushing to reach nationwide. So we don't want any barriers as far as different states or anything like that. We want to be able to take care of anyone, anywhere in the United States.
Is there different licensing hoops that you guys are having to jump through for each individual state?
Yeah, so it's state by state. We have to apply for our business licensing, and then also we have to let insurance know because they have to add, there's different things for different states. And then as far as our providers, we have to get them licensed in each respective state as well. So there's a lot to it, and we're doing everything slowly. We're not taking any business loans or anything, so it's been kind of difficult that way as far as doing everything cash only. We're trying to keep the business debt free and just go state by state as we can.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's a great idea. There's a ton of need, obviously, for it, and a ton of people that can benefit from this as well, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So somebody's listening to this and wants more information and so forth. What's a good place for them to go to get it?
Yeah, so just go to evolvingvitality.net and fill out the contact form, and we will reach out to you, get back to you via email. We can give you a phone call, and also we have our phone number on there. So most people do the contact form because then we can reach out and give them more information. But we'd be happy to talk to you about your specific goals and needs and everything else from there and get you guys a tailored plan.
And that's one neat thing you had mentioned too, right, is that you guys have a nutritionist or a nutritional plan that can come with it too. And just to be able to specialize that for individual clients is just a huge opportunity for businesses where they can get something uniquely tailored just to them. So I think it's a great idea and a ton of potential. Yeah, for it.
And we have Dr. Deso is our nutritionist. He is doing that full time, so he can write you a diet plan based on your goals, tailored to your goals. We also have access to pharmaceutical grade vitamins, and it's through Full Script, so you can get that through our website as well. You're getting it at a much discounted rate, so we give everybody 10% off. So you're constantly getting a discounted rate through us, and then all the vitamins are vetted and they're absolutely pharmaceutical grade and pure. A lot of vitamins you get on Amazon and whatnot, say they have all this stuff in them, and the amount, do they truly have the potency? Probably not. Maybe so, but probably not. Through Full Scripts, they check everything, and it's all pharmaceutical grade and the quality vitamins that you want to take. Yeah, so in blood work, and that's very interesting as well because we've seen that, not with my clinic personally, but I've been in the health and nutrition side of things for a very long time. And the clinic I was going to previously for myself, we do the full blood work panels for a reason. So we're checking all the vitamin deficiencies. We're also checking white blood cell counts, red blood cell. We're checking everything as well. And, if there's an infection or something going on in your body, you're going to see that through like the white blood cells being spiked. So the provider's going to ask you, have you been sick recently? Have you been fighting an infection? And if not, then maybe we want to look into that a little bit further and refer you to a specialist. So we've seen in my clinic type of industry, a lot of people seeing cancer actually way early on rather than waiting till they have the symptoms, and by then it's stage 3 or 4. So seeing it in the blood work, because your body's going to tell you when something's wrong through blood work, and that's the best way to see it. And then we can nip things in the butt way earlier.
That's super cool.
Yes.
That's really good information. I'm sure you got some really good stories of folks that have come to you with, hey, I'm just not feeling good. I'm feeling not lethargic. I'm feeling too lethargic, that type of thing.
Right.
And then after some time on this, really just feeling great. You might be one of those cases as well.
Yes, and we actually had a older female. I say older. She's in her 50s. Female patient came to us recently. She'd been to every doctor under the sun. She had a full hysterectomy, so she's not producing any hormones naturally. Has been to every doctor under the sun. Nobody would help her. They would send her away telling her she's crazy. You're just going through menopause, and just blew it off on everything else. And she finally came to us, and Dr. Gowden checked her blood work, and she hit everything. She goes, "You're deficient in testosterone, progesterone, estrogen," and then put her on a couple other peptides that helped her with her mental fogginess and whatever else she had, and it actually absolutely turned her life around. So she feels completely better, as if she was in her 20s again, just by adjusting the blood work through hormone optimization.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm sure a lot of people would benefit from that. That's not something that you're normally just going to know about yourself. That's like, oh, maybe my testosterone levels are off. Unless you're getting it tested.
And then in her case, doctors say, well, you had a hysterectomy. That's normal. You should feel this way.
You should feel that, right.
When in that case, she's not producing any hormones, so we put her on all the hormones that she is supposed to be producing. Therefore, she feels normal again. So pretty simple fixes, and it's pretty amazing. But I've seen people come off of depression medication, ADHD, all sorts of different things, anxiety meds. They've come off all of those simply by adjusting the hormones.
And that's got to be a really cool part, from where you sit and running the business, is seeing those success stories and knowing that you're truly helping people change their lives for the better with that. When maybe they've been written off by doctors, or who knows what's happened in their past, but that you've been able to come up and determine this solution for them has got to be a really cool experience.
Right. And for me, coming out of being in the military and law enforcement, I have a drive for the service part of things, and to me this is really close to that, because I can help serve people and getting them feeling their best, because life is short, and living it optimized and feeling your best is just the best thing you can do. So I love seeing people going from feeling terrible to absolutely feeling great and living fulfilling lives.
Yeah, that's excellent.
So do you target, so if you're going in and you're talking to somebody that's like 50, are you putting them on the same level of hormone that they would be on when they're 20, or do you adjust for age in there, or how does that work?
So the provider usually, she has a set protocol she puts them on to start. So say a male came to us 50 years old and had all the symptoms of the low testosterone. She will put him on a basic protocol of, say, 150 milligrams of testosterone a week, and then whatever else that he needs. And that's the typical dosage that most of these guys are taking. And then when we do the follow-up blood work is when we'll see, because you might need 150 a week, I might need 200 milligrams a week, the next guy might need 50 milligrams a week. All of us having the same levels. It just depends on how your body processes it, and each person's individualized. So she will start them on a base dosage and then adjust it once we do the partial blood work follow-up. Because some people might just be running testosterone and an anti-estrogen. Because the problem is, nowadays with all the plastics that we consume, again, like I said, the seed oils, all the things that we're eating nowadays is actually crushing testosterone levels. And naturally what happens is when your testosterone levels get lowered, your estrogen levels are usually spiking. So that's why a lot of males are getting the soft fatty tissue, and a lot of they say man boobs, right? That's from the estrogen levels getting too high and out of control, and the testosterone being low. So what we do is usually put them on a base level of testosterone and then an estrogen blocker to get those levels flipped. So the testosterone back up and the estrogen back down to where they should be as a male. But some males come in and they don't have an issue with estrogen levels, so they might just need the testosterone. So it's definitely very tailored for each person, and that's the fun part. Is it's not a cookie cutter plan that we put anybody on. So
you've obviously got your nutrition dialed in and know a ton about this. What would your advice be of one or two food things people should cut out immediately?
Or add.
Yeah,
or add.
cut out for
Let's
sure.
do both. Yeah.
Be careful. I would say one of the biggest things is the cooking oils, the seed oils. Use coconut oil as an alternative, avocado oil, those are both safe. Olive oil, safe. But these like canola oils and all these other seed oils that people are using are actually destroying them. And then processed foods too. You know, you're going to save a ton of money cooking from home. So going and getting chicken, best thing you can do is get locally raised beef. Find somebody that does it. It's one, it's cheaper, and two, it's not going to have all the stuff in it that's in these commercial raised cattle. And then just cooking from home and finding just balance, honestly, not eating out. Cut sugar. That'd be another thing. Tell people who want to lose weight, cutting sugar alone is going to drop a ton of weight off of you. And drink a lot of water.
Okay, great advice for sure.
Yeah, very good. Mike, we appreciate you being on the show today. Tell us again how to get a hold of you when we have some interest.
Yeah, so if anyone's interested, just go to evolvingvitality.net and fill out the contact form. We can reach out to you by email or phone and get you more information and answer any questions that you might have.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thanks for your time, Mike.
Thank you.